Welcome to our online session, World Sparky Baat. I want to ask you a question. How many of you work out every day? I know our community is very aware, very fit. And how many of you work out every day, even simple exercises like pranayam or stretching exercises? Today we have with us a very accomplished leader who started yoga when he was 61 years of age after a series of heart surgeries. I request you to keep your lines on mute, but do type and send your questions. We shall pause as always for question answer breaks, and we'll keep opening up the discussion as we chat. So today we have with us Admiral Suren Rao, commissioned in the Indian Navy on 30th September 1968. He served on cruiser Mysore, submarine support ship Amba, and officers training ship Kaveri. He served in 1970-71 in what was called Kala Pani, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Admiral Rao served as a diplomat, deputy naval attaché in Indian Embassy, Moscow from 83 to 86 during the Cold War. He was Chief Staff Officer, Personnel and Administration in Headquarters Western Naval Command and also served in the Nuclear Submarine Program. He retired as Assistant Chief of Logistics in May 2005 from Naval Headquarters, New Delhi, as Rear Admiral. Admiral Rao is a recipient of Presidential Awards Vishesh Seva Medal and Nausena Medal. After retirement, he set up and headed a BPO in Gurgaon for 5 years, then served as the Managing Director of Vidyapeeth University in Sirsa with 7 colleges and 4,000 students under him. He started yoga in 2010 with a teacher's training course, went to Sivananda Yoga Vedanta Ashram in Trivandrum for an intensive course in 2011, and again from there did an advanced teacher's training course in 2012. Earlier this year, he's completed his sadhana intensive at Sivananda Tapaswani Ashram in UP. He's had a teaching experience of over 10 years now at Sivananda centers and otherwise. The most beautiful thing, his entire family is dedicated to social service and they support various causes. We feel very proud to welcome here, sir.
Thank you, Archana. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. So we start. Can you please share how was your experience at Navy? And firstly, the cruise line, not the Indian naval ship liners.
Archana, I joined Navy when I was doing my MSc honors in chemistry in Chandigarh. Mm-hmm. That's the time I took a plunge in the Navy. After my training, during sea training I did on INS Mysore, this old cruiser of the Second World War vintage, which we got from UK after the partition. And after completing my training, I joined INS Amba. That was a submarine tender submarine depot ship. Looks after the crew, and the submarines sail out for long duration. They have tough time. Those submarines, old submarines, were very they're not comfortable at all. Living inside and going out for days and months, a real kind of hell. So when they came, they stayed on the ship, which was very, very kind of comfortable, air conditioned. So that was my first ship, INS Amba. After that, I moved to Andaman and Nicobar. Since I was a bachelor, I was very happy to go there, and spent 2 years in Andaman Nicobar Islands. That time it was called Kala Pani because there hardly any communication with the mainland. Only one ship which used to move between Andaman and Kolkata. We used to get one flight per week. So the life was, and availability of basic necessities was very poor. Place was fully infested with mosquitoes and snakes.
Wow.
But I had wonderful time. I mean, since there was so much time available, I caught up with my reading, have fun on the beaches, go for shikar, and so I had wonderful time. And we had a very good CEO, Commodore PC Rajkoa, wonderful man, and Assamese gentleman, wonderful person. So then I once came back from there, I went for my diving training. It's called a ship's diving course, where I qualified to dive up to 120 feet.
Wow, that's amazing.
I wanted to go further into diving, wanted to do the clearance diving course, but there was a technical hitch that came into being, and it took Naval Headquarters 2 years to sort that out. Finally, I got that course, but by the time a lot of water had flown under the bridge, I had done my advanced logistics course. Then I was about to get married, so I declined that course.
Sorry, yeah.
No, go ahead.
Please continue. I mean, it's very interesting.
Yeah, and then I went. I did my Defense Services Staff College in Wellington. That's where Gauri was born. It's a lovely place in Nilgiris. Came back to Delhi, and then I moved to Moscow as Deputy Naval Attaché. That time it was USSR, Union of Soviet.
And the Cold War era, 1983 to 86. I mean, that would be another experience again.
Yeah,
please share about that.
Yeah, that was a wonderful appointment. As a diplomat, we had wonderful time, but at the same time, life was tough. The day you wanted to go and buy potatoes were not available in the market. You came back with shoes, or the day you wanted to buy shoes, maybe you came back with an umbrella or something. So things were difficult that way. But being diplomat, we had our own shops also, but that was so one didn't feel the pinch per se. It was, as I said, the Cold War, the Russians, Americans, and the NATO bloc was all spying, counter-spying. That used to go on endlessly. Like Gauri reminded me that I must talk about the gift I got on my farewell from the Soviets. Rita used to collect blue potteries. These are famous blue potteries. In the figurines you get coffee, tea sets also, but they never come in the market in one go. Okay. So you have to pick up maybe one plate one day and a cup another day and milk pot another day, like that. So in 3 years, Rita collected a lot of blue pottery, figurines and other stuff, but she could never find the coffee jug, coffee pot. And when my appointment back to India came, she mentioned to me, "Have you not got our coffee cup?" So I said, "Forget about it. If you not got it, got it. How does it make a difference?" And all. You move on. After a few days, when I went to call on Lieutenant General Nikolai, who was the chief of GTD, where I used to work under him, with him. After our pleasantries, we exchanged gifts, and he gave me a gift. I came back home, and when we opened it, you'll be surprised, Archana, it was a blue pottery coffee jug, coffee pot. We were shocked. How did these people knew? It's only conversation was between me and Rita, but the gentlemen came to know about it, and they got me there. Similarly, the Americans, they were building the embassy that time. Every brick, everything used to come from America. But still these people used to bug the walls or other things. These people used to construct something, then they'll bring it down, and they'll again start. It took them more than 3 years I stayed there. The embassy was not complete. So, the famous called KGB was really at work. But they didn't trouble us. We were good friends with India. Our relationships were very good as compared to the Americans or Britishers. Britishers naval attaché was, he came, he served for 3 days. After 3 days, he was sent back. And UK did the same thing, tit for tat. That kind of thing used to go on. But we were very lucky and very happy. We had a wonderful tenure in Moscow.
I'm sure you had a lot to contribute for that as well.
And that time, most of our procurements, acquisitions, were acquisition of ships and submarines, missile boats, were from Russia.
Yeah.
So we were quite busy work-wise, but we had a fair share, a more than fair share of our fun and enjoyment as a diplomat. And it's a beautiful city, Moscow. And we traveled also in Moscow and USSR. The place is, I must say, it's a beautiful country. It's a beautiful country.
So you also shared that, about India's...
Archana, sorry, may I ask a question before we move on to Russia?
Yes, please.
Admiral Saab, do you think that your house or your flat was bugged, that they came to know that you wanted a coffee pot for your wife?
That's what he was pointing to.
Absolutely, sir. I don't know whether they used to bug the pillows or the walls or what they did. Yeah. They knew everything, even the pillow talk.
Okay. Thank you.
So you've served in India's nuclear submarine program as well. What exactly was it? Is it still a top secret, or can you share something about it now?
Archana, that was before that. Commanded our stores depot as Bombay, supporting the entire Western Fleet, and that was I commanded that for more than 3 years. That was a very challenging task, as mentioned by Admiral the other day. We have multiple vendors, a lot of problems to get the ships spares from Russia. So that was really nightmarish, as was mentioned the other day. After that, I moved to Western Naval Command. That's the sword arm of the Indian Navy. Served for more than 2 years as Chief Staff Officer of Personnel and Administration. And then I moved to Delhi and joined this nuclear submarine program. That time it was called ATV, Advanced Technological Vessel.
Okay.
So since it was highly classified, nobody used the word nuclear. But we were constructing the submarine, and I think we did a commendable job. We constructed it, and the submarine is fully operational. It is called INS Chakra. It is no longer secret now because the submarine is sailing. The whole world knows about it. And the second and the third nuclear submarine are also under construction. That's also a known fact now. There's no secrecy involved in that.
Wow. Excellent. Rakesh,
sorry, may I just interrupt once more? Sorry. Is this a Scorpion program, Admiral Saab?
No, sir. This is in collaboration with the Russians.
Okay.
Yeah, the Scorpions, I think, or the German, this thing that is at Majgaon Docks in Bombay.
Is that German or French? Scorpion, I thought it was French.
Okay, French, sir.
French. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
So, Mr. Rakesh wants to know that did you get some sensitive information from the USSR officials, or did they have all our information with their bugs?
No, we couldn't spy on them. It was the other way around. They knew everything about us. Archana, what used to happen the moment you left your flat? There used to be a militia who used to stand outside the complex. He will see you getting into the car, and he will go inside his small hut, call up somebody, and within a couple of seconds he's out. So he's handed you over to somebody else, and then that person hands over to somebody else. So from minute to minute, you are being tracked. Like it happened once. We on a Sunday we were driving down and we changed our route. Within a minute or so, we were stopped, and the militia will come to you. He will salute you. He'll say, "Dobrai din, Gaspadin, where are you going?" And then he'll put you back on the track. They won't allow you to move 1 inch here and there.
Okay. Another question. Please share a little more about. Please share about Chernobyl.
Second.
And please share about Chernobyl. And this is a Saurabh's question to you.
Share about. I didn't get that.
Chernobyl is a nuclear disaster.
The Chernobyl nuclear disaster that happened.
Oh.
So there's a rather interesting story there, which I'm going to let him tell you all. But yeah, quite exciting.
Yeah, we want to know if it's an interesting story that you also experienced there.
Yes, we were there that time when this accident in nuclear plant in Chernobyl took place.
That was in '84 only. Yeah, okay.
And we visited a place called Kiev in Ukraine. I think about 3 or 4 months later, we went to Kiev, and you won't believe, Archana, even after, I think maybe 4 months or 6 months after the accident, we had gone to Kiev. It's a beautiful city, a capital of Ukraine. And they were morning and evening washing all buildings, the trees, the roads, that kind of thing. But since, as I said, it was very, very close society, they didn't allow much of information to go out to public. How they handled, how they moved people, those who are injured, those who are dead, how they moved them from one place to another place. Not many people know about it. Because since it was, as I said, very, very closed, and Russia in those days didn't allow the world to
know more much about
what's happening inside. It's only, these days the technology there, you can make out how much of radioactivity in the atmosphere, where it is coming from. So the West knew it has happened, but details are not known. Or at least that time, we didn't know, we didn't come to know about those.
So now I want to touch the post-retirement phase of your life. You shared that you were very, very keen diver, and you were very fit, and never did you have any problem in your 36 years of naval life. And please share with everybody. It's it's quite an eye-opener about how the problem started and what you faced. I mean, what all problems you faced, because that's an eye-opener for all of us.
No one problem.
Archana, one day my father-in-law, late General Yadav, he asked me to take him to R&R for his annual medical. We went there, old man was put on a treadmill. He came out clean, doctors examined him physically, he was fine. Once he finished, I realized that I had not done my medical for last 2 years. So I told the doctor, would you be kind enough to to my checkup also. And he said, most certainly, sir. He gave me a date, I think 2-3 days later, and I went. He put me on a treadmill, stopped the treadmill after about 3 or 4 minutes. He said, sir, there's something wrong with the machine. You come on another machine. I did that. He stopped again. He said, sir, there is something wrong with your heart, and most probably you have blockages. So we'll have to do a angiography. Out of the bolt from the blue, I was shocked because never in my 36 years I was in hospital for a day or felt anything. I used to run. I was diving, playing golf, but never felt anything wrong with my heart. So they did angiography and found serious blockages in 2 of my arteries, more than 90% blockages. Shocking, but and they say, sir, you need immediate heart surgery, open heart surgery. Well, the whole family was shocked, but and I went ahead with open heart surgery. Surgery was done in Max Arcade by a doctor called Dr. Bhan. Surgery was fine. After 3rd day, they were discharging me. So I told Dr. Bhan that I'm having pain in my lower chest where the rib cage finishes. In that pit, I am feeling uncomfortable, and it's been there since the operation. He says, sir, don't worry, Admiral, sir. The big operation, we open up the entire chest. So thoda bahut to dard hoga, but you are fine. Go home, nothing like home, sweet home. Go and relax and you'll be fine. And now we came back. At that time we were in Sector 17. And I used to go for walks, then do whatever was prescribed. But the pain never died. On the contrary, it kept on increasing. After 4 or 5 days, the area became red and the pain became intolerable. So we went to Max. Dr. Bhan put me on a bed and started examining me. When he pressed my chest and the abdomen, a fountain of blood and pus came out. It went over him, went all over the blood, all over the bed. And he was also surprised, and he says, sir, you have infection. So we'll operate on you tomorrow, clean you up, and don't worry, these kind of things happen, but we'll fix you up. Next day, they operated on me again, Dr. Bhan. But the gentleman, after opening me up, went for another open heart surgery. And he left me to his juniors who did their best, cleaned me up, and stitched me up again. Next day, this gentleman, Dr. Bhan, told me, sir, we made a mistake. We should not have stitched you up. But whatever is done is done. I put you on heavy antibiotics, and don't worry, you'll be fine.
Please continue.
So, as I said, the problem didn't become okay. I kept having that little bit of oozing from my stitches, and Dr. Bhan stopped seeing me. So my wife one day did a dharna outside his office, and when he came, she caught him. I also joined, and we asked him, what's going on? So he said, oh, sir, I've not had a case like this, and I will consult a thoracic surgeon, but we'll do something about it, maybe. But he was very. So after we meeting, then we didn't know what to do. So Rita called up Gauri's mother-in-law, Dr. Rama Bhasin, she was in AIMS that time. told her the whole story. And Rama immediately told her to come to AIMS. She called up Dr. Bisoi, who is head of cardio, and Dr. Arvind, whom you are seeing these days on NDTV, the thoracic surgeon. They examined me, and Arvind told me, Dr. Arvind, sir, if you dip you in penicillin morning and evening, you will not, penicillin and antibiotics, you will not become okay. You have very bad infection in your sternum. It may have traveled to your rib cage, and we'll have to admit you. And the only solution is that we operate on you, remove the infected parts, and your chest will be like a Hanuman chest. And so from there, we'll see what best can be done. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we are with you.
What do I do again? Yeah. Okay, so that was shocking, but Mata Kya Karta, we were admitted in AIMS thanks to Rama, her effort, and we and Dr. Bisoi, we were admitted immediately, and then they operated on me, I think 3 more surgeries. Half my sternum were removed, 2 ribs were removed. And I cut the story short. I was lying on my back with my chest open. It used to be dressed up morning and evening. And it took 8 to 9 months for the wound to heal. And I could then stand on my feet. And and during this period, I almost died twice, because the infection and whatever problems you acquire during hospitalization. So, but I'm lucky, and I must say, thanks to the support which I got from my family, my wife, my daughter, Gauri's, our Samdhis, Rama and Vinay, all of them, I think they cared for me immensely. I don't have words to thank them for their gratitude, for what they have done. So it was the love and affection, the care which they took of me, saw me come out of the hospital. When I came out, I was almost a cripple, but from there I managed to proceed in life. So that was the worst part of my life. So, but that's all history now, and behind me, I don't even think about it for a second.
And at 61, you started yoga?
That's right. After we came back, Rita used to go to the Shivananda Center. I also started going with her. Although the doctors had told me, sir, don't do Kapalbhati, don't try all these, stretches and forward bends and backward bends, because I don't have half my sternum. And there is a danger of the abdomen coming out of the chest and becoming a hernia. Some doctors had even suggested that I have a surgery and they will patch me up with a wire gauge and do the skin transplant and whatever, which I never got it done. It was not required also. But slowly I got into yoga. I could do whatever I could. And then after a year, when I became more confident, I went to the ashram in Trivandrum and did my teacher's training course. And like a good armed forces personnel, I said, well, I will do it like I did all other my courses to best of my ability. And I passed out with excellent grading. I didn't miss a class. I did all my assignments, did all my sessions. So I completed my teacher's training course and then started teaching in Shivananda centers in Gurgaon.
And you left your medication also? You didn't need your medication
When
anymore?
that time I was taking, doctors had put me on, I think 3 or 4 medicines. One of them was very antibiotics, 500 mg tablet was told to blood pressure thing, and all that kind of stuff. So I had started skipping of my own, because once I had gone to the doctor said, "Ki sir, we are not very sure if you leave it, what will happen or not happen." So they were not very straightforward at that standpoint. But of my own, I don't need. And whatever I read about these medicines,
Well, I think you need to come a little closer.
all of them have.
I think you need to come a little closer.
Yeah, can you see me now?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, but yeah.
More?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
a little closer when you talk. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. So of my own, I started skipping, and after I think another 1 year or so, I totally stopped. And it's been many years now since I have not taken a single pill or a medicine in last couple of years. I don't remember when I stopped, but it's been a long time. I'm not on any medication whatsoever, and I don't take them even if I get a little bit of headache or not feeling well. I don't take medicines.
Amazing. And you've been teaching for 10 years or so. How was that experience?
Yeah, Archana, you said now it's nearly 10 years plus. After I did my teacher's training course, then I went for my
advanced teachers program.
Teachers course. I got my Yoga Acharya certificate for whatever it's worth. But basically, it was more for self. Yes, I can do things. It took me more than 2 years to come into headstand. It took me more than 2 years to touch my toes. But I'm getting more and more confident, and so I continued on this journey. And today I feel I'm as good as anybody who are in their 20s, 30s. Like in last sadhana intensive, I was the oldest, nearly 73. The average age out there must have been about 30 or 35. And I did everything. That is 2 hours of yoga practice and 6 to 8 hours of pranayam every day. We were only on served khichdi without salt morning and evening, and nothing else.
No tea, no coffee.
No coffee, nothing. And I did pretty well. I came back much more confident, much more healthier. And other day on 5th of this month, Shivananda Center were having a session of 108 Surya Namaskars, and I did my 108 Surya Namaskars.
Amazing. So for all of us, this is what discipline and dedication does. Imagine
also planning
yoga 108. I can't even dream of doing those half as many as well.
One of the next classes.
Yes, Manish, most certainly.
So apart from being a qualified yoga instructor, Admiral Rao is now learning piano and has a huge coin collection from almost all countries of the world. And you mentioned, sir, that you're also writing a book on coins. So can you please share about that? And you were also telling me that, the coins tell stories of various countries. So just elaborate a little more.
Yeah, it started, when I was in Moscow, when I was to travel inside Moscow, inside USSR and to Europe. I started collecting coins mainly for Gaurav and Gauri, and I had to collect stamps also mainly for them. So that continued. And after I retired, then I had a look at it and then said, let's proceed further. And I decided to have a collection of coins from all countries in the world. So some I bought, some people have given it to me when they. Sometime I asked them, you are going to so and so country, please get some interesting coins for me. So that is how I built up this collection, and I think I left. I think 7 or 8 countries are left, mostly Central and South America. So next couple of months, this target will be met.
Wow.
And I have catalogued them, preserved them now. And you look at them, reading about them, it dawned on me, my God, how much the coins tell us.
You could probably have a site as well, because then everybody will be, able to see it online.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So they tell us about history, the famous personalities who have impacted and changed the world, the discoveries, the sports, flora and fauna, architecture. They almost everything, the coins tell us. The only thing is we don't look at them. Whenever we get a change, we don't even give a second look. We put them somewhere or throw it away. But by the way, it is one of the top 3 hobbies in the world, numismatics now. And very rewarding, very educating, and I'm really enjoying it. So when I was doing that work, the idea came to me that I write a book for the children, what all the coins tell us. You can see the world through coins. They tell you so much. So that is what I'm attempting. And hopefully before my grandson's next birthday, because that's the date I promised him, or he gave me when I was playing squash with him the other day. He had asked me, Nana, when would your book be ready? So I said, I'm working on it. He says, please finish it before my next birthday.
Now we are all looking forward to that book.
Yeah, so that is my next target, Archana.
For everybody, I would also like to share that Admiral Rao and his family have given their house in Sector 17 to Harmony House, an NGO for academics and yoga for children. They contribute to the Ravi Kalra Foundation and the Kamlapuri Library. All his earnings from yoga also go to these charities. Apart from these, they are supporting an orphanage in Ajmer, which has over 100 children living in, who are provided basic necessities and education, and they're taught to be self-independent so that they can face the world and live life in dignity. Currently, his family is helping arrange for food and supplies to families suffering in the COVID-19 crisis. Also, for everybody's knowledge, his daughter Gauri, apart from a full-time job and 2 young kids, is running a library from home where over 150 kids come and borrow books every weekend from the slums around. This is simply an amazing effort, sir, and your entire family, I must say, is an example for all of us, and we we also can, I guess, put in our efforts and should be able to do what we can. For everybody, whoever wants to, you know who to contact. Also, if you want to send your staffs, you want to inform your children, staff's children that they can go to Gauri and they can also take that advantage of the books. Another question, sir. Your tested and proven motto is the human body heals itself. Please explain and share this message with everybody.
Achha, before I do that, I'll take a minute or so to tell you about my experience with children. I've been teaching this Harmony House kids for nearly 8 years, 8 to 10 years. And recently, for the last 1 year, I have added Kamlapuri Library. That's also in Sector 17, where these underprivileged children come basically to the library. And now the first class that is held is I hold for them is the yoga class. These children are amazing. They are, most of them are above average in their IQ, and some of them are, I would call them the brilliant. And they want to, and they, so keen to learn. They absorb everything like a sponge. You have to tell them once, and they get it. So, and I really enjoy the most satisfaction I get is from my classes with these children. Amazing they are, may God bless them, and that's my prayer for them. And the society is helping, everybody is helping, and I hope they will do well in their life. So now coming to your...
can I interrupt, sir? My next question was about children. Let's address that first. But I would like you to, give a special message for the young children, and how much should we focus on the importance of yoga. And Anurag here is asking a similar question as well. Should yoga be made compulsory for kids in school? Our Prime Minister has hinted on it, but it got shot down. What are your thoughts? So your thoughts as well as your message.
As far as I know, the government policy, written policy, is that yoga is compulsory in schools. Or that Indian Council of Education or something. Couple of years ago, I did some writing work. I wrote the manuals for a college, and I wrote a manual on yoga also for them. That's the time I had come across this policy letter that yoga is compulsory in schools. But most schools kind of pay lip service to this program. They're not serious about it. I even approached, some schools like Scottish I can come and do the yoga classes. All very lukewarm about it, Mm-hmm. And the gentleman out there, the next junior wonderful friend in Scottish Eye. But schools per se are, as I said, they are just doing just to meet the, so to say, the rule, but not seriously about it. Yoga, I would say, for children, it is a must. I have conducted some classes in World Spa with the children. I find them very restless. Not many are flexible enough, even at this age of 8, 9, 10, 11. Teens are not coming forward at all. I wanted to have classes for teens, those who are in their teens, that age group. Nobody volunteered, nobody came forward. And I see a lot of them need help as far as their physical health is concerned. So to put it briefly, I would say that we must encourage our children to yoga and pranayam and give them that push so that they can get into it. It will see them in good stead. So that would be my message for them. Please spare at least, I would say, 20 minutes to half an hour to relax yourself, learn the basic method of breathing, because most of us not breathing correctly, and that is the need of the hour. And plus, yoga also teaches us how to be careful about your eating. So that is, so these are the basic things which they need to be told so that they are aware, it's at the back of their mind. And that will see them, as I said, in good stead.
That's true. Once they start some discipline in food and exercise and the flexibility, especially breathing, you're right. So important. Can we please mute ourselves?
No, even
Rakesh. Thank you.
If whatever they are doing there, whether they are playing squash or tennis or badminton, it will improve their game amazingly. The more flexible they become, more the lung capacity they have, it will improve their game. It will improve their whatever athletics or the indoor game or outdoor game they're playing.
Human body heals itself.
Yeah, that is the key giveaway I would like to give to all the participants who are there. That from my personal experience of this health episode that I had, is that this body has thousands of years of experience of healing itself. And we must give it a chance to heal. Be it your cold, your cough, your fever, your pain in your shoulders or back. Now you must listen to your body and give it time to heal itself. And I can say with certainty, with my personal experience, that it heals better than the medicines do. I'm not decrying, I'm not belittling the medical science, but certainly I think what yogas and yoga has is coming from thousands of years. I don't think the science is that old. So only thing is the science wants to prove that it's happening, and it will take science many, many more years to prove that what we do in yoga is correct. Part of it has been said, it's right, but they have a lot of ground to cover. So coming back, that body knows how to heal itself, and it has the inner capability of curing itself, healing itself. That'll be my message. So don't rush to the doctor every time doctor treats your symptoms. He doesn't treat the root cause of the problem. So that is what you need to address. There are a lot of nadis, the nerves, the muscles and the joints. And that is for every physical problem you have, there is a blockage somewhere in your nervous system. Some nadis are blocked. And there are asanas and there are pranayams to unblock those places. And that's what will heal you and in good health.
Also, you wanted to share, I remember yesterday, that, despite a very fit life, through 36 years of your naval life, you still ended up in blockages so early in life, which you could not even think of because you were so fit that time. So those routine checkups are also important, as well as a healthy lifestyle. And I think that held you in good stead even later, along with your yoga practice.
That's right, Archana. But sadly, this medical professions, I'm again, saddened to say that the test the doctors provide, they say, "Sir, please come for annual check. We'll do all these checks, etc." They catch you. They call you, catch you, and then they take you up a different path altogether. So I'm a little wary about all these so-called the routine checks. The best check is that you stand every day on your feet, scan your body from your tips to upward, toes upward. Body tells you what's troubling you. Why do you need a doctor to tell you? If there's a pain in the knee or your elbow or your back, well, doctor doesn't have to tell you that. I mean, you know about it, and then take whatever action you have to take. Do the exercises, cut down on your eating, or do your walks, or whatever is required to be done, and keep yourself healthy.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to say something.
Yes, please.
So I think just as faith is very important, be it spiritual, yoga or whatever, if you don't have faith in your doctor, you can't heal. So I think let's not brickbat the medical fraternity.
No. He is very clear about not doing that, but he's saying we should not undermine the importance of yoga, the importance of being fit and having a fit mind and body both.
Totally.
So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Admiral Rao, and thank you for everybody who's been here this evening. Tomorrow we have another young achiever, Ketki Tyagi. She's played soccer for India in the under 14 and under 16 teams, and for Delhi under 15 and under 18. And now the senior women's team. She's just taken her 12th bows and she'll be with us tomorrow. And we are already past 6. Sorry about that. Atul started his music. This is your host, Archana Malhotra. Bye. Good evening.